Good evening, everyone, and happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Women's History Month. Welcome to Cultivating Conversations. I am your host, Stacy T. And Cultivating Conversations is a podcast where we talk about life, love, the pursuit of happiness, everything in between. We talk about hard topics, those taboo things that we necessarily don't want to talk about, but we need to talk about. And the whole purpose of Cultivating Conversations, as I say every week, it is to bring enlightenment and to have those thought-provoking conversations that is going to bring healing and wholeness. If anything needs to grow, in order for anything to grow, a seed has to be planted. And in order for that seed to be planted, the ground has to be cultivated and it has to be ready to receive that seed so that things can grow. So it is my hope after all of these episodes and after our talk and conversation that something is said that sparks something. It pricks your heart. It causes conviction. It just wants you, it causes you to have a conversation even with yourself or with someone else. Why is my eye jumping? Why is my eye jumping? What does that mean when your eye jumps? I don't know. But yeah, so that's what Cultivating Conversations is about. So welcome to you all, those who are returning and those who are here for the first time. I appreciate you turning in. So March is Women's History Month. Okay, we are celebrating women all month, the whole month of March. And on Cultivating Conversations, I wanted to celebrate the women who are presently blazing trails, and they are CEOs, and they are just doing some amazing things that's creating history today for our future. So last week, as you may have seen, I interviewed the fabulous Bernadette Henry with Make It Fun NYC. And it was so wonderful talking to her. We talked about self-care. We talked about health and fitness and wellness and wholeness and all of those great things. So tonight, I am excited to have another beauty join me. And listen, all of the women that I have this month, I know them personally. I'm proud to say that I know them personally. I'm proud to say that I have history with these history makers. That sounds great, right? I have history with these history makers. So tonight, I'm excited on this second week to celebrate and interview and have with me tonight this beauty. She's a daughter. She is a sister. She is a wife. She is a mother. I can finally, I will say publicly, I call her friend. We have a joke about that, but I do call her friend, and I do not take that term lightly. I call her friend. She is a serial entrepreneur for real. Like, I have never met anybody like this woman. This go-getter. And tonight I call her a boss. Tonight, last week was a trailblazer. Tonight is boss. She is a boss in every sense of the word. So without further ado, I want to present to some and introduce to others this boss, this beauty, my good sis, Nneka Bell. I need the applause. I have the applause thing. The thing with the applause.
Yeah.
I kept forgetting. Hey, queen.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
That is wonderful. So listen, y'all, let me tell you something. This is about to be like one of those around the way girl type interviews, right? Because me and this girl here, we kick it. We kick it. We just kick it. Like that's just who we are. So you're almost going to be coming in on a conversation that we may have in private, because we have conversations, not always in the name. I forgot to my phone. Nobody ever texts me, and then now I get text messages.
You know that's the way it happens.
Anyway, yeah, we don't talk often, but when we do, it is indeed fruitful. So yes. Let's get into it. Okay, I can't talk either.
Oh,
let's
Lord.
get into it.
Yes, let's
Tell
do that.
us, who is Nneka Bell?
Oh God, where do I start? First, I want to say thank you for having me tonight. I'm so excited. I always wanted to be, I feel like I made it. So when you asked me, I was like, girl, of course I'll be on this podcast. But I am, like you said, I'm a mother of three. I'm a wife. I own several businesses. I own Celebrities Boutique, which is brick and mortar located in Teaneck, New Jersey. I own Celebrities Quality Painting, which is a construction company, but I also own Celebrities Quality Maintenance. That is also a construction company. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a singer. I'm a real estate agent licensed. I'm about to get licensed in New Jersey, where I just moved. I'm a professor at Metropolitan College. I teach business, and yeah, I mean, I can't remember all the other stuff, but yeah, that's what I do.
I mean, listen, I'm tired. I'm
I
tired, but I'm
know.
inspired just hearing that. Okay, so this is a lot.
Yes.
This is a lot. This is a lot to unpack. So tell us,
Okay.
um, let's travel back in time. Let's
Yes.
travel back in time because
Okay.
all of the things that you rattle off, all of who you are, obviously is not who you just like came out of your mother's womb and came to be. So talk to us about that moment before all of those things that you talked about. The moment, if you, I'm sure you remember the moment that you woke up and was like, I really I need to do some stuff. Like I
Yes.
want to do some stuff. Like when, what was your age? What was you doing? What was going on in your life when you made that decision? Like, I'm gonna be a boss.
Oh God. When I'm okay. So wait, I'll have to go back a little bit before that moment.
Before the
So
war?
first, right, a little bit before that. No, so I was a teenage parent. So I got pregnant at 16, and I had my son. And then I had gotten pregnant again at 20, and I had my other son. And I knew that I did not want to get on public assistance, right? So the only other option that I felt I had was to go into the military, right? Because I heard be all you can be and all that. And I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to try that.
Right.
Little did I know that in order to get into the military, I had to sign over custody of my children. In order, yes, they make you sign over custody just in case something happens to you. The children are in place. So I went to my sister and I asked her, can she take custody of my children? And she did. Well, actually, she took custody of one. He was the harder one. So she was like, I can't do two, but I'll give you one, right? So I gave one to my sister, and then I let my youngest son go to his dad. But I didn't sign over custody. I just was like, you hold him for a minute. I ain't trust him enough. Right. And so I went into the military. But while I was in there, it was hard for me because I was a single parent, and I went into the Navy. And although my ship, I was on a USS Nimitz, which is an aircraft carrier. And although they allow you to bring your children back with you, you take it after boot camp. But it was hard because every eighth day I would have to spend the night on the ship, and I had no childcare.
Oh.
So eventually I asked for honorable discharge, which they gave it to me, with no problems, and I'm so grateful for it. But I always had this dream while I was in the military to be a bus driver. And I used to want to be a bus driver growing up. And my mother was like, you know how you say, what you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, a bus driver. My mother was like, if you say that again,
The devil is a liar.
the devil, exactly. I was going to say that, but I was like, no. She was like, stop saying that, and I'm like, but that's what I wanted to be. And not only did I want to be a bus driver, I envisioned myself being that driver. I was like, I'm gonna pop my collar. I'm going to drive with one hand. Like I saw the whole thing with
How you
being a
gonna
bus
leave a
driver.
bus?
Girl, I saw it. Didn't even know how to drive, but I was like, I'm gonna get my nails done. Like I had it planned to be this bus driver, and I never moved from it. It didn't matter. So while I was in the military, before I asked for the discharge, I actually went home on leave back to New York because I was stationed in Virginia. And I was like, let me take the test. So I took the test while I was in the military. So when they released me, 6 months, you allowed to collect unemployment for 6 months. And so the last check is when MTA sent the letter in the mail to tell me to come down because I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, oh my God, this is the last check. Yeah. And then the letter came in the mail. I passed my road test and I became a New York City bus driver. So at 23 years old, I was driving a city bus and I did that for 13 years.
13.
13 years.
Wow.
But while I was like, okay, after getting that job, I knew that dreams could come true because I envisioned that as a child. I mean, I didn't know back as a child that you are not supposed to drive a bus with one hand. It's illegal, right?
Right.
I mean, but after that, I was like, wow, that means I could do anything. There's all you have to do is basically visualize it. Right. So I gave myself 10 years because after I did it, I was like, okay, I'm over it. I loved my job. I loved the people, but I knew that I was just more than a bus driver. But now here you have it. You're making all this money at a young age, right? You got this insurance that's amazing. How do you let this go? Right. But because I started at 20, right. How do you let that go? And so that was the part that was hard for me. And so in order for me to retire with full pension, I had to do 32 years. And I said, God, there's no way that I can stay on this job for 32 years. That's my life. Right. But how do I move from it? Well, I used to come home and I used to cry. And I'm like, God, even though I loved it, I'm more than this. But what do I do? So November 16th, 2012, I was at 167th and Webster Avenue. I'll never forget, in the Bronx on the BX41. So if anybody's watching, you know exactly where I'm talking about. And so a guy got on and he said, yo, you think you all that? And I was like, excuse me? Because they called me the singing bus driver because I used to always sing, look fabulous, all the nails done. Just all of this. Right. They used to be like, what party you going to? I'm like, nowhere. I never even go to parties, but people always assumed that I was a party
bus.
Yeah, because look at me. You would think, yeah, she's hanging out. Girl, I ain't going nowhere. So, November 16th, 2012, the guy got on my bus. He paid his fare. He had a business suit on. He was like, you black B, you think you all that? What? Oh. So I thought it was a joke. So I looked up like, oh, I thought somebody was playing with me. He was not playing. He hawk spit in my face. And walked off. Like his job was done. And it was at that moment that God said, here's your opportunity. Now, what are you going to do with it? You don't even know this story. So, right? I don't think we ever talked about this.
Like, wait, I didn't hear this story.
Exactly. And so that was my last day as a New York City bus driver. And so now I'm like, okay, I've never gone through anything like this. What do I do next? And my mother used to always say, well, God told me this and I was like, well, God ain't never talked to me. But this day, it was clear.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I need to pause here.
Go ahead. You know me. I'll just go. Go ahead.
But I got questions.
All right.
Because you jump from he spit in my face or he spit on me.
Yes.
And that was the last day. What happened? What happened when he walked off? Like you just continued driving the bus?
No. Okay. See, I get so excited because it's almost an unbelievable story.
Yeah. But I got questions. I see. I'm like, so because this is one of these things that we talk about in church, like turn the other cheek and let somebody slap you. And we talk about that, people like, well, somebody spit on me, then that's another problem. And here we are, not saying that she was, saved back then, but saved or not, like
right.
So please, what I need you to just interject that and then
yes. So he spit in my face, and I was taken aback. I was in shock, first of all. And so, but the people on the bus, which is weird, they was like, oh, that's nothing, because I had made the announcement that everyone had to get off because you can't kick one person off. You have to kick everyone off. And so I said, everyone have to get off and get on what we call the followers bus. That's the bus behind you. And so people were complaining like, oh, that's nothing. What are you making a big deal? Yes, girl. And I was shocked, like it spit in my face. You want me to, okay, I'm not even going to go.
Right.
It was crazy. And so everybody got off eventually because I wasn't going anywhere. And so I called it in and I let them know, my the upper management know that I had got spit in the face. So they said, okay, you stay right there. We'll send somebody for you. You have to go to the emergency room. And so I'm like, okay. So that's what they did. The chaplain came to talk to me because first of all, now it's mental, right? Are you okay? And I
Sure.
still was just like, in disbelief because he didn't argue with me. And most of the time you think somebody's going to assault you because there was an argument or you had to tell them to pay you fair. There was none of that.
He just walked.
He just spit in my face. Right, exactly. And paid his fare with a Metro card. He asked for nothing. But that's how I knew that it was my time.
Yeah.
Because remember, I was crying like, God, I know that I'm more than this. But how do I walk away with two small children from a city job that people die for? Right. You don't walk away from that. But when he wants you to move, he's going to move you.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So he moved me. Yeah. And so, but even at that time, I didn't know that that was my last day. But what happened was after you go to the hospital, what they said was it's only considered assault if he said, I have HIV and spit, or I have, I don't know, HPD or whatever some diseases are and spit. But because he didn't say anything, that it's not as serious. Isn't that something? But you don't know that, right? Nobody knows that. But yeah, so that's what they told me. And they said, well, you have up until 2 years to go see a therapist, get your life together, but we'll pay you up until 2 years. So now God had already said, here's your opportunity. MTA said you have up to, because if you hit the 2 year, they'll fire you. So you have up to 2 years to go get your therapy or whatever you need to do, and then you come back. So girl, when they said that, let me tell you, Stacey, and this is no lie, I made a promise to myself. The clock started to tick right now. There will not be one day that I don't do something where I never have to go back. So I had to come up with a plan. What are you going to do? I had no idea. But the first thing I could do is to tap back. Well, let's rewind. I had a store on White Plains Road. Okay. But what I would do is I would park the book because I was always an entrepreneur. That was just in me. But we don't have time to go back and how that happened and all that. But I had a store that was failing. It failed within 1 year. Right. And so I said, okay, I can put all of my effort into that, but it was already failing. And so I said, well, let me go back to school. Right. Because even if the business failed, my education is not going to fail. Right. This is my mind. This is my brain. And so I went back to school. And I went back for makeup though, because I knew the basics, but I said, okay, let me just go back for makeup. And I went to one of the best schools. So I was like, I'm not going to do anything where people can deny me. I'll just go for the best.
Right.
Okay. It was only me and a very well-known mortician who we were in the same class. There were only 2 Black women in this class. Right. And so I went to school. I did all of that. I graduated. And then I opened another business. I borrowed from my pension. I had no money because the business was failing, but I borrowed from my pension and I opened up a fashion truck. I know you're like, what the heck is that? New York City didn't even know what it was. When I went to them, they said, ma'am, we never heard of this. We can't help you. And I was like, but I had the vision. And at this time, I just knew that everything else that I was a bus driver. It can happen. I had this vision of a truck with clothes on it. It can happen. So I borrowed from my pension where they was not supposed to give me the money. And I had no idea. When you're out of work, you're not supposed to get disability. Right? I'm sorry. You're not supposed to be able to borrow from your pension.
Right, because you're not active.
Exactly. I didn't know that. I just applied and they gave it to me until a young lady was like, they gave you your money? They're not supposed to. But when God wants something to happen, it happens.
It'll make it happen.
She was like, well, I'm going to try to do it too, because she was out too. And they denied her. She could not understand, why did they give you this money? And at that point, I said, God, I must be on the right path. And so that's how Celebrities Boutique, the fashion truck that you've never been on.
Yes.
Right. Came about. And I just opened the truck up and a man walked on and he said, ma'am, have anybody ever did a story on you? I said, no, a story. He was like, I'll be right back. This man came back with a pad and a pen. He asked me all these questions. I told him that I got assaulted. I did not know that I was not supposed to open up another business. I did not know I wasn't supposed to have a business in the first place. I knew none of these things.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you wasn't supposed to have
you're not, because technically you're out on disability.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Come on now.
You're
Right.
not supposed to be employed.
You're not I didn't even know I was not supposed to go back to school. Ignorance.
Oh, not school.
You're not supposed to go back to school. No.
Because you're not getting paid for school. So,
Girl, I had no idea. I learned all of this the hard way.
Okay.
And so until this man did this piece on me, I ended up in Forbes magazine. I ended up on because they all follow each other. Nobody wants the other to have a story without them having it. So although he was a small paper, they followed him. Mm-hmm. And that's how I ended up on all these news channels. Everybody wanted Nneka. But the people that didn't like it was the MTA. Because what the news said was ex-MTA driver. And I'm like, but I never told you guys I was ex-MTA. But that's what they said.
Right.
And that's when the MTA was like, nah, we're going to make an example out of her. We're suing her for all the money we gave her.
Yeah, I believe it.
And that's exactly what happened. But when I stepped into that courtroom, because they sued me, I had to go to court, everything. Mm-hmm. The judge was like, what are y'all trying to do to her? Because whatever you're trying to do to her, you're not going to do it here. Okay? And that's why the book is coming out, Facing 15, because they wanted me to do 15 years in jail for this, okay? So make sure you get the rest of the story on what happened.
Right. I got another tidbit.
Girl, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Oh. I remember us having dinner, and it was some question. You was like, you gotta wait until the book come out. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait until the book come out. But I got another little slice, a little tidbit of the book. We're gonna talk about that book. I didn't put it in my notes. I'm glad that you said that. So that was okay.
That's what happened.
Okay.
That's what happened. Yes. And so I'm here now. So people that kind of follow the story, they're like, what happened? How did that happen? And I'm like, buy the book. I always tell them, buy the book. I'm not going to tell you. But it's nothing. God, when I tell you, oh, girl, don't get me started. Because, you know, I got to test. I'll shout in a minute. But when I tell you what, I thought that he left me. Because I'm like, how could this happen to me? You said, here's my opportunity. You allowed them to give me the money. I had no idea that I wasn't supposed to receive it. You allowed me to go to school and had the school testify that I was an amazing student. I had no idea I was doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But from that moment, when I was able to get rid of all of this, all of that mess when I had to realize that, no, Nneka, you're not going anywhere. You have a job to do. Right? You survived this for a reason. Mm-hmm. And that's when serial entrepreneur came into effect, because I felt like I could do anything. There's nothing I couldn't do. And why not bring people along with me? Why not educate people? And that's why I'm a professor. That was never nothing I wanted to do. But God saw fit for me to feed these children and to let them know, because yes, I have to read from the book, but I have personal experience. You're going to learn from me. The mistakes I made, if you sit in my class, you only make the same mistake if you want to, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you what the books don't tell you.
Right. Right. And that's why it wasn't a road that you saw for yourself out of all of the things that you wanted to do, but that's what's needed. That's what's needed. The people that's going to really, because teaching is one thing, but educating is different.
Exactly. Say it again, girl, for people in the back.
Teaching is one thing, but educating is different. And when you are teaching, when you're in a space where you can impact people, it's got to be more than the check, because what is the purpose of you going through what you've gone through if you're not going to use it to help somebody else? I was just talking to somebody today. They inboxed me about some stuff, and my heart was broken. I had a knot in my stomach. Wow. Because I wasn't expecting the news to come from the person that it came from, because the person don't talk often. Wow. We don't talk often. We have history, but we don't talk often. So when they reached out to me and I'm reading, I almost like I had to look to make sure that they had that check because they're kind of like a known person. I had to make sure that they wasn't hacked because I'm like, this can't be the person. This can't be the person telling me what they're telling me. It can't be. And I had I promise you this afternoon, I had a knot in my stomach because I was like, something's in my eye. I was like, I can't believe this. So, as I'm talking to them, I'm sharing with them. And one of the things that they said to me was, this is why I reached out to you. I'm still not all the way sure why they reached out to me. I mean, I know it was God. But I was able to share some things with them that I learned from experience. That the average person who did not go through what I went through, but may have the book knowledge, they don't have the experience. And the person said to me, I didn't even think about that. And I said, and you wouldn't. The only reason I said I didn't think about it either until it happened to me.
Right.
When it happened to me, I said that anytime I come across somebody that's going through this situation, I'm going to make sure that I tell them so that they don't have to go through it. Like you said, unless they want to. Right. Or they can't say that nobody told them because nobody told me. Nobody told me. Nobody told you all of they didn't tell you.
They don't tell you.
All of that fine print. All of that fine print when you go out, the same thing happened to my ex-husband. But it happened to him in the post office. The same thing. It was it was a little bit more uglier. I mean, and nobody spit on him, but it was a similar situation. And he was facing bad. It's bad. So I believe, not that I wouldn't, but I believe what you're saying because I witnessed it happening with my ex-husband. I'm kind of talking about two separate things, but I said all of that to say.
No, but I get it. I'm following.
To teach and to educate is different. Totally different thing. So that's why you're needed, in that professional setting, especially when it comes to business.
Yes.
So okay, you got the celebrities, mobile, boutique, mobile, the truck. Okay, so let's pick it up from there.
So so the business. All right, I'm going to be a millionaire, and I know that sounds crazy, and I don't know how it's going to happen, right? Because you would think that I have some kind of inside. I know that I'm coming into some money. It's not going to. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that it's going to happen. Right? And so I walk like that. Right? And so I walk like, I don't know. It's not that I don't buy expensive things, but I just live like I'm in luxury because I'm just getting ready for it. Yeah. Right? So in the meantime, in between time, here I am selling these dresses and these accessories and, doing makeup. And I'm like, God, okay. Unless something big happens, I'm not going to become a millionaire doing this, right? There has to be more for me. And so I just keep living. Well, anyway, I received a phone call one day, and this woman, they hired a group of people to reach out to women-owned businesses. And so the reason why they did that is because they were looking for window cleaners in New York City, the high-rise buildings, and they wanted a woman-owned business. Because what we have to understand as Black and brown women is that there's money set aside for us, right? And so the reason why they had them calling us is because what she was saying was, we only open nail salons. We only open boutiques, hairdressing, hair salons, those businesses. But the government does not really have a real need for those businesses. They need us to be window washers. They need us to be painters and, in construction industry, right? Truck drivers and all these male dominated. That's where they need us. That's where the money is there, but they can't find the women. And so she called me and she said, I'm enjoying this conversation. Let me ask you a question. What did you used to do? Tell me a little bit about yourself. That's what I told her. I would say, I was in the military. She said, and what did you do there? I said, All I did was paint aircraft carriers because when I went in there, they told me, oh, you don't have to find a job now. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and, just take whatever they give you and then take the retest and then choose a job later on. So that's what I did. I had no guidance. There was nobody in my family that was in the military. So what I did was, and I said, I just painted. She said, wait. Stop right there. You did what? I said, I painted aircraft carriers. She said, Miss, that is construction. She said the issue is that women think that you have to work a business in order to own a business. That is not true. As a matter of fact, if you're working in your business, then you're not allowing yourself to grow because you're working instead of going out and finding more contracts. And I was like, oh, shoot. She said, when we hang up this phone, and she said, I believe you're going to do it. I want you to open up a construction company. You're ready. Just go ahead and do it. And I'm like, what? But I'm so obedient. When people tell me things, I'm a risk taker as well. I'm like, what is it going to hurt for me to open this business? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it, but how much could it hurt? It's a couple of $100s, right? So I waited to get my income tax. I didn't have the money. And that's what I ask people. What are you doing with your income tax? I hate when people say, I don't have it. Yes, you do have it.
Right.
It's what do you choose to do with it?
That's right.
And every time I get money, you see that new stimulus check that's coming? Girl, I already see the flip in it.
Right.
I don't just get money and then just spend it on something. No, I spend money on myself once I have flipped the money.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to start doing. During this pandemic, we have all been given an opportunity. If you are on public assistance, you have been given extra money. What did you do with that extra money? What did you do with that extra money? Because if you survived off the money they used to give you, now you got the extra money. Why did you not flip that? They got paparazzi. You can sell $5 jewelry and flip that. Right. Whatever it is. Go Uber, walk to that neighbor and deliver that food and flip that money. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's what, with me, that's why I am successful. It's because I always look at, I'm always flipping. I always look for opportunities. Mm-hmm. And this pandemic, I say, God, if I survive it, that means I was supposed to live. That means I'm going to do my thing. I wake up every day. Ask my husband. He's so annoyed with me because I'm like, it's an opportunity for me to do it all over again, but do it better.
Right.
Every single day. And that's the issue. People take days for granted. Yeah. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Who told you that you were waking up tomorrow? Who promised you? Please show me the book. As for me, you see me, I'm always doing something because I say God does not waste his breath. When he breathes that thing in me, he like, yo, my daughter, she about to get at it. That's right. I'm getting at it.
He already put it in us. So why would we waste time just thinking, being presumptuous and obnoxious, thinking that we have time?
I hate that. Time. Now, I hate that.
Now, okay. So now that's one thing, right? We don't have the time, right? We don't have the time. We don't, if I'm hearing you correctly, we don't want things bad enough. Do you really want to be debt free? Do you really want to come out of your, where you're living? Do you really want to?
Preach.
Or at that first sign of whatever, there's all of these memes. It's sad, but I was laughing. So all of these memes about everybody going to get crap.
It's so true.
Everybody going to get crab legs. And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, there's way too many memes. And I know that it's jokes.
Right.
But it's probably kind of not what?
It's not a joke.
What are you gonna if Jordan drops a pair of new Airs,
girl,
which have already, my daughter, all right, sidebar, my daughter she showed me these Jordans that came out, I promise you, in the 90s. And they were $225.
It's crazy.
I wish I would.
It's crazy, right?
I said them joints was $89.95 at Dr. J's in the 90s.
Girl,
We don't even own them. Like, are you crazy? Like, no, we not. That's not what we doing up in this house.
we're not doing that.
We're
not doing that.
I was
But
like, what are you gonna do with those? And you 16. You're not done growing. Like, what are you gonna do? You know what you can do with $225?
Girl,
like, no, we're not doing that. Especially for some raggedy sneakers that is not even owned by the person currently, and they've been out before. They have been out before.
Don't get me started. Don't get me. I want to say something of what you just said about those crab legs. Let me tell you what I did, right? And y'all gonna see. I'm telling the truth because the videos either come in Monday, depends on my time, but it should be about Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I do the YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
I did a mukbang last night I invited this young lady that's my friend, and she just won a government contract, right? They just made $1 million. She's very modest. You would never know. She didn't even mention it, right?
Mm-hmm.
She only told me. And so what I said, come on. Yeah, right. And I don't tell everybody. But anyway, I said, come here, let's eat crab legs. I ordered crab legs from another young lady that I know, a part of this. We'll talk about that another time. But anyway, so I ordered the crab legs because I wanted to support her. I'm always supporting people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to pick the crab legs up. The reason why it's called a mukbang, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I use the crab legs is because I know that people love these crab legs. And I was like, okay, God, in order for me to pour into them, they love the crab legs. Let me use the crab legs as bait. And what we did last night is talk about how to get government contracts while eating crab legs.
Crab legs.
Right? I said, I'm going to do whatever I have to do in order to educate you because I'm tired of the excuses.
Right.
No, we don't know. But there's people like me that have done all the grunt work. And I'm like, I don't need you to struggle as hard as me. I'm going to need you to educate yourself, right? Don't just take my word for it, but I'm going to assist you because nobody assisted me. That's right. There's a lot of things that we think we know that we don't know and they don't want us to know. Mm-hmm. So as I find out, I'm like, okay, what do they like? Crab legs? Well, let me get crab legs and maybe they'll listen to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's something to those memes. It's sad, but it's the truth.
Yeah. No, it is.
And I'm tired. And I'm tired of us not knowing. And I'm tired of them hiding things from us. And I'm tired of girl. Did you know that we are really not small businesses? Did you know that?
I stopped using that term a while ago because I'm like, how am I ever going to self-actualize or walk into the prophecies that were spoken over my life concerning my dollar amount if I'm calling myself a small business? I don't want to be a small business. I want to be a multi-billion-dollar company. Why am I calling myself a small business? So I try not to. I can't remember
label yourself.
Myself small business.
Okay, let me tell you what they're doing. Now I'm gonna put you, and you can Google it. It's in Google. So you see how they said during this pandemic, it's not 38, right? But we good. So you see how during this, we good? We good. During the pandemic, they said, oh, we're giving money to the small businesses, right? Mm-hmm. And the people like us, we were like, oh, then they're going to give the money to us. Because we're a small business. The reality of it is that you are only a small business if you have anything over 5 employees, up to 6 employees, and you're making over $250,000. Did you know that? You are not a small. Yes, if you have 6 employees making $250,000 or more, you're a small business. That's where the money went, the real money. We are called micro businesses in reality because we don't fit the small business. But because we think we're small businesses, we think they're talking to us. They're not talking to us, but they know that we're not educated. So we believe that the money's coming from us. And some of us got $10,000. Some of us got $14,000. But that was nothing compared to what the real small businesses receive.
Right.
And so because people don't know that, they think that they have our best interests at heart. And that is not the truth. That is not the truth. And I'm like, you need to know who you are and where you are so you'll know what to do and where you need to go. But they throw the word around so that they can keep us.
It's catchphrasing.
Yeah, man. Come on, enough is enough. You are a micro business. You are a non-factor. You are nothing. You didn't hear anybody on TV saying we're gonna look out for the micro businesses. Did you hear that?
I've never even heard that. I've never heard that.
Google it. Somebody that's watching right now, Google what how much money you need to make in order to be a small business, and you could comment in here and tell me if I'm lying. You need to have at least 6 employees and make at least $250,000 in order to be a small business. Call me a liar. I'm waiting. It ain't gonna happen. So that's what I'm saying. You look at these notices. I applied to for Columbia University. They had a program for what I thought was a small business. I ran home and I told my husband and I said, "Boo, guess what? I'm going to apply for Columbia. They have a program where they're putting the prime contractors with the subcontractors so we can develop a relationship and we can start getting these government contracts."
Mm-hmm.
I checked it off. I'm Black. I even got another check because I'm a veteran. I checked it off. Aha, yeah. Then at the bottom it said, you have to make at least 250,000. And I'm like, but wait, I'm a small business. Why are you saying I need to make 250? That's not a small business. And then I Googled it. Boo boo. Yeah. You're not a small business. You're a micro business. They don't have nothing for you.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I've never heard of that.
That's why you got Nneka on the show, because I'm gonna educate you. We don't know.
Wow.
You don't hear nobody walking around with like, "Hi, my name is Nneka. I'm a micro business."
No, not at all.
You
not
don't
at
hear
all.
it. They don't tell you. Go ahead and apply. Go ahead and try to apply for a patent. See if they don't have 3 slots. I can go get the paper right now because I thought I had something patent. I mean, not patent. What's that thing called? Is it a patent? Yeah, patent.
A patent, yeah.
They have this. They have an M for micro business. They have an S for small business, and whatever the other number. I didn't even look at the other letter because I know I didn't fit that. There's 3 categories because guess what? We're not small businesses, but we don't know that until we apply for things. Try it. Google it. Did somebody write it yet? Okay. So I'm telling you, stop thinking that we have to work in businesses and not just own it. Take that money that they're about to give you and go to the USPTO. Start trademarking stuff. Start patenting stuff. Start opening these businesses. Go and find these people to work for you. You don't have to know what you're doing. They need to know what they're doing. All you need to know is how to manage it. That's all you need to know. And if you don't know, you reach out to people like me and you ask for help. That's all you have to do. Stop opening these. We got enough hair salons. Everybody doing crochet. Look at me, a half full.
Right.
We got wicked. We don't need. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
So
go ahead. Go ahead. I know you're speechless on your own show.
All right, throw all my notes away. No,
sorry.
No. Don't be sorry because we're talking about being a boss. We're talking about being a boss. We're talking about women's. I feel like Clubhouse. Let me reset the room, but this ain't Clubhouse. So let me just get everyone up to speed. We're talking about being a boss, and we're talking about making history. We're grateful for those who have paved the way for us. But so much has happened to where we are in a space. We're not where we would want to be, but it's not all the way because we can't be there. It's because, as you said, information has been held from us, and either people don't know or they know. Like I don't know what it is, but we're talking about being a boss, and we want to be the boss. We want, in order to be a boss, like for real, just what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling is you got to bring it up another notch.
You have to.
You got to bring it up another notch.
You have to. And stop being. Now listen to this. Now let's rewind. I told you, Stacey. I told y'all, whoever's watching, I don't even know. I said I had a business and I drove the bus. Remember I said that? Right? You know why I did that? Because there was no way that I was giving somebody 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours of my life and not giving myself that time. Yeah. So I said, okay, Nneka, if you're going to drive this bus for 8 hours, you're going to pour into your business for 8 hours. Mm-hmm. If you can do overtime another day, then you're going to do this. I never gave anybody more time than I gave myself. We have to stop doing that. Stop doing that. Because I don't care how much money you make. If you're not the owner, you're never going to become a millionaire. So if they're paying you $80,000 a year, guess how much money they making? Guess how much money they making if they can afford to pay you that?
Right.
That means that you could do it. Open that business. Still with your eyes. You hear me? Still with your eyes. People don't have to know that you are studying them, that you are studying the business. You don't have to open your mouth and ask questions. Just show up.
Watch. Yeah.
Show up. That's all you have to do. And there is no, you can't do this. What they're saying is you're not going to be able to do it that way. But I'm not even going to tell you that. I'm just going to tell you no. And the reason why that just came to mind is because, and I got a lot. I went to the Taxi and Limousine Commission. This is back in the day. And I said, I want to open up a limousine company. Google it. Celebrities Celebrities Car and Limousine. That's the name of one of my businesses. They said, ma'am, I'm there. I got the taxi and limousine license.
Somewhere?
Listen, wait, hold on. Celebrities. I love celebrities because that's what I am. I don't care what nobody say.
I just saw celebrity maintenance today. I was like, wait.
It's coming. Wait.
Yeah, I was like, this gotta be her, but what? Okay. I'm like, hey.
When you see celebrities, you see me. But wait, so I went to Taxi and Limousine Commission and I said, I want to start a limousine company. I have my limousine license. I have a commercial driver's license. So what else do I need to do? The business is what is it? It's a business. What is it? What is it called? The business is illegal, whatever. And so they were like, I got my EIN, all that stuff. So they said, ma'am, no, you cannot start a business with only one car. I said, what? They said, I think at that time you needed 8 cars to start a limousine business. What? Okay. Thank you. I went home. I said, they think I'm not opening the business. The devil is a liar. I went on. We had the yellow pages back then. I went through the yellow pages and I called every limousine company. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nneka. I'm the owner of Celebrities Car and Limousine. I have a question for you. Would you like to partner up and get so that we can both make money? Well, ma'am, I don't understand what you mean. Okay, so here's the plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the customers and then I'm going to ask them the destination where they want to be dropped off, where they want to be picked up. I'm going to call you and give you that information. You're going to give me your price. I'm going to call my customer back and I'm going to let them know, but I'm going to mark the price up. And just please make sure that you just be there on time, you pick them up and that you're professional and we can do business. Oh, really? That's all I have to do? And that's all you have to do. I'll give you a call back. Click. Celebrities Car and Limousine. Hi, can I help you? Hi, I like a limousine to so-and-so. Okay, I'll get back to you with the quote. Call them, and that's how I made the money with Celebrities Car and Limousine. And guess what? I didn't even have one car. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. When people tell you no, they just saying you can't do it that way. Stop hearing those no's and walking away and crying, oh God.
And no, it's like a definite. It's not a
definite.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with this mess. But go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
You gonna be quiet. I'm interviewing you. You gotta talk. No, this is good. I wasn't expecting this.
I know. I'm sorry. All right.
No, don't be sorry. I'm here for it. You know how we do.
Yes.
I love seeing women, especially seeing Black women doing their thing. I love the passion. I love the drive. That's why we don't talk often, but when we talk,
we talk, right?
We talk. You know, I show up in the shop. We gotta order food. I still gotta eat at that vegan place when I come back to get my shirt and my jacket.
Yes.
Because but this is what's needed. This is what's needed. So please, I'm saying sorry. Don't apologize. This is good because I feel like when they make it or when they're on their way or they get a little piece of a coin, people tend to keep and reserve, their knowledge because they feel like, well, I had to go through the blood, sweat, and tears. I had to figure it out myself. You figure it out yourself. There are women who wanted to start their skincare line and they would inbox me and they would do it with caution. And they will ask me questions, and I would answer them, and I would tell them, I'm not telling you what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm giving them you need to do this. You got to do this. You can go to this website, and they're like, wow, thank you, because they're
not expecting that.
Me, and I'm like, there's enough at the table. There's enough spaces at the table for every one of us to eat,
and that's it.
I'm not threatened by whatever it is that you do. And guess what? If you do it better, then that's great. Because
But you, your journey.
I feel like when one win, we all win. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like,
Exactly.
I don't want, you're gonna have to, I can't give everything to you
Of
because
course not.
it's your journey,
Right.
but I can give you the things that may have been a hiccup for me, so that it's not a hiccup for you. What is wrong with that?
Exactly. You know how I do that? Because people call me all the time, right? And so I give them homework. And the reason why I give them homework and I'm not just giving you everything, it's not about being selfish. But if you want it enough, you have to do your research. And it's just like in church when he'll say, "Oh no, read it for yourself. Like I want you to read your word. Don't
Right.
just take my word for it.
Right.
Do your research." So I
Right.
always give them homework to see if they're going to get back to me. That's how I can tell who's who. You don't really want it. You want to give it to you. And
Right.
that's not what I'm going to do. Right? You should love me for not giving you everything because come on. You need to learn because if I do it for you, then you're never going to know how to do it. Right?
Right.
If I can give it to you and there's no pain that's attached to it, then you're not going to appreciate it as much.
And not only are you not going to appreciate it, but you're not going to succeed because
Exactly.
there's always going to be a bump in the road.
Always.
And when that bump comes, if you don't know what you're doing in the good of it, you know, you're not going to know how to get yourself out of those potholes or those things, and then you fail.
Exactly.
And who's the real failure? You are the failure, but so is the teacher, the one that just gave it all to you.
Exactly. And another thing I tell people, I'm like, you do understand that I have several businesses, right? Which means that I also need help. So just don't come to me asking me for something. Why don't you say, "Hey, Nneka, I know you have the store in Teaneck, and I see that you're not open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Would you like me to come in and work for you on Monday so that I can pick your brain and you can help me?" You know how that sounds? I'm like, girl, yes, because I know that I need help. Would you like me? I'm really great at social media. Would you want me to gather up some posts for you so that you won't have to worry about it while I pick your brain? You see how you can give me something and then I can give it to you? That's it. Why don't you just do that? Then I'll give you even more because you're helping me. You just don't want something. Go ahead, Stacey. Go ahead.
Maybe that's how I got into your good grade. Because let me tell
you did.
Oh no, I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. I don't know how I ended up in your store when you had to go down south.
Yes, remember?
But I promise you, it was more for me than it was for you. That day gave me life because it was always my dream to have a brick and mortar.
Right.
Always. And I love the store. I love just from the first day I walked in, I was like, this is just amazing. And to be in that store, I was mopping.
I saw you through the camera. I was in the hotel. I'm like, Stacey, and you like, who the heck? And you were just,
it gave me life. I was like, this is what it feels like to own your own. Like this is what it feels like. You know what I mean? So I just needed to throw that in because
right. No, but that was good for me. And it was just like that day, I'm glad that you took me back there because it just made me feel so good that the way you were treating it. I didn't feel like I had to watch you through I thought it was just funny that you didn't know that I could talk to you through the camera.
I had no idea.
Exactly.
I had no idea. I mean, I should have known, but I didn't walk in there like somebody's watching me. I walked in there like I'm here minding the boutique, low key acting like it's mine. But when you act like it's yours, you're going to treat it
exactly.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. I had no idea I was
being spied on. But yeah, that's what I tell people. Just give. Yeah, you have to give in order to receive. And if you give, you receive more. That's it. It's very simple. It's very simple.
It is. And I don't understand. But then it's motive.
Right. Well, you can discernment though. That's what prayer is for.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And I always ask God, that is one of the things, Lord, give me discernment. Whoever's not for me, remove them. Sometimes that prayer, I'll be scared to pray. I'll be like, wait, God, whoever's not there, remove them. Because you don't want him. You ain't ready sometimes.
Look.
I'm past
that. I'm past that. cut up, snippety,
Right.
snip. I ain't got a problem. I was devastated at one point.
Right.
Devastated me. But after that, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Exactly.
No, but you're right.
I'm getting there. I'm still work in progress. I still be nervous.
But it's hurtful. But I always find that he doesn't remove without replacing with better.
That is true.
He doesn't.
Oh, and that was good.
That
was good, Stacey. All right.
I mean, we ain't never here before. I'm gonna take a drink on that.
I know, but sometimes you just need to hear it again.
Because most times, we talk about it, with relationships, like romantic relationships and stuff like that. But it's with anything that he removes. Anybody that he removes, he always, I have my core friends, right? And you've met some of them.
I met them, yes.
Childhood, they ain't going nowhere,
right.
But then I've had others that have come along the way who, didn't prove to be, whatever. And when they were removed, it made space for the people that I needed. You know what I mean? It made space in who I needed, because the thing is that I feel like we're going in a whole different direction, but I'm here for it.
Right.
It's the timing and the seasons and the season in which you're in. And if the people that you are currently around, if they are not beneficial to where you are and where you're going, they gotta go.
Let me tell you the analogy that I use for that. You ready?
I'm ready.
A Christmas tree. Let's use a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Christmas trees are beautiful, right? But we add things onto them. We add a garland, we add balls, we add lights. We add these things to them, and now we're like, it's even more beautiful, whatever, right? But a Christmas tree doesn't really need all of that. Those are things that we just add on to it. Now, you know how sometimes the ball falls down. Your ball falls off the tree.
Right.
Sometimes you just leave the balls there, right? And you just walk away. You saw that ball, but you just left it there because guess what? It was not needed. And so that's the way I use my life. If you're a ball and you just fall down, and I don't even recognize that you have fell down, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I ain't talked to that one in months, or, whatever, how long, that means that you just weren't necessary. If I didn't think about you, there's a difference between people being there, you're like, oh, shoot, I ain't talked to Stacey in like 4 weeks, but I thought about you, which means that you're still necessary, right? But if I didn't even think about you no more, I'm like, that ball is on the floor, I'm just going to leave it. I don't need it in my life. Right. I don't need it on my tree. You understand? And that's the way I use it.
You want to pick it back up
and hung that thing back up there.
Yeah, for it to serve its purpose, but it didn't have a purpose.
It didn't have a purpose. So some balls that fell off, leave them on. But no, we go and pick the ball up, put it back there, the ball fall back, and they don't hurt you again. You go pick it back up. Stop. Leave the ball on the freaking floor. You don't need the ball. You're a tree. You're beautiful without it. Now come on and let's keep it moving. Period.
Period.
Right.
Yo, I can't with you.
I know. Look, you're just like, period. And you told me not to do that. I'm like, you're just like, period. But yes.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, so your drive, right?
Yes.
Can I tell this story about
which one?
125th?
Tell me again. Go ahead. Wait, 135th, 130.
The truck.
Go ahead. With the breakdown?
Huh? It was the day. It was when we did the collab.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Look, I'm like,
wait, because my thing is dying. So y'all, Nneka hits me up, right? She hits me up, and she ain't lying when she talking about what she talking about. This woman is who, some people try to get on and play airs like that's not her. Who she is who she is for real. She calls me, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was more like Thursday.
So I'm trying to give you a little bit more Thursday, because Wednesday was a lot.
Give me a little bit, 48 hours. She calls me and she's like, I have a proposition for you. Come on my truck on Saturday, and bring your stuff, this and the third. So I'm like, I don't know what I had made. I'm
No,
like,
because you was like, I don't have much.
right.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah. I don't have much. And you was like, just bring what you have or whatever. So I'm like, I've been dying to get on this truck. This is my opportunity. Okay. I'm just going to take whatever I have and I'm going to rock with it because Nneka's the one that you just don't, you like you said, like, I can't give you an excuse.
Right.
I can't give you an excuse. Like, I can't tell you no because then you're going to go off. Like,
right.
What do you mean no? Get it together.
Exactly.
So I get my stuff together. I get my stuff together. I'm like, okay, I gotta, bring my A game, get my, because this Celebrities Mobile Boutique, she in Harlem, and IDB is coming with Celebrities Mobile.
Right.
Saturday morning.
Oh,
she calls me. So now I'm ready to go. Saturday morning, she calls and she's like, the truck is smoking and I'm in Jersey. So I'm like, okay. Now we had a time. I think we was getting to Harlem by 11 a.m.
11 o'clock. Right. To get parked.
Like
yep.
So that we can get a good spot.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. So she's like, but it's all right. I got a plan B. And I'm like,
right, like the truck is smoking. What's your plan B?
The truck. The truck is smoking on Route 4.
Yeah.
On Route 4. At this point, it's 10 a.m. We're supposed to be in Harlem at 11. I'm still at home in Westchester. And she's like, I got a plan. I'm going to call you back. Click. Okay. So now I'm like, well, what? What am I? But you never, your tone never changed. Your voice never dropped. Me, I would have been somewhere crying, like, this is why stuff don't ever work out for me. And you like, it's all right.
It's all right.
I'm going to call you back.
What you going to do?
So she calls me back. It's like, I got racks. I got this. Meet me on Hunts Point. So now I got to throw all of the stuff in my car, take the stuff out of my trunk to make room, meet you on Hunts Point.
But wait a minute, because I had got the tow truck.
Got the tow truck.
The tow, that big 34 feet food truck. I just want people that didn't see the truck. It's a whole food, like a food truck, a Frito-Lay truck. I got that towed from New Jersey to Hunts Point.
Yeah.
Once we got to Hunts Point, I took off all the stuff off the truck, put some stuff in my husband's car, put some stuff in your car, and guess what we did? We set out to do.
We drove to Harlem and we set up 2 tables and a rack on the corner. I felt like, I felt like I was one of them jokers that be out there with the incense and the cell phone cases. But it was fantastic.
When did we start making money? How long did it take us to start making money when we put those tables up?
I feel like we was putting stuff up and people.
We never finished putting the stuff up because people started buying.
People started buying. And here's the thing. I thought, and we had this conversation, you used to be on, I thought, and I believe you used to be on 125th in front of the Adam Clayton Power building. So that's where I thought we was going to be. We was on Lennox and 136th Street. 126th Street.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. I wasn't expecting that because I never saw the truck because I wasn't in Harlem like that.
Right.
But for it to be in that space, and it was a great day. It was a beautiful day. We was right there across the street from Corner Social, Sylvia's, Red Rooster. It was the day after the election.
Yeah.
Everybody was outside. It was fantastic. And we was out there from noon until dusk.
What time was it?
It was dark.
And you had nothing left. People were coming.
Yeah. Like I was going because my cell phone was dying.
Yes.
So I had to keep going into the car to charge the phone so that I can get my purchases. When people make purchases, I can do the transaction. And I wouldn't be in the car for 10 minutes. And somebody will come and be like, you got a customer, somebody's here.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, Yo, she is not a game.
I'm not a game. I'm not
She's
playing.
not,
People,
she's not
you know how many
game.
people would have given up? Now,
Yeah,
fast
I'm not
forward,
gonna go today. I'm not gonna go
they would have
today.
not
I'm gonna wait
gone.
until next week, and I don't even know what was happening next week. But that day was fantastic because number one, I felt like it was the whiz where everybody came back outside because
Yes,
this folio was gone, and
right.
I had never seen outside hustling and bustling like that. People were. It was nice outside. Every AKA on the earth was
Was out there.
outside. People
Yes,
were celebrating, it was beeping, it was honking, and people wanted to spend money.
their money.
Had it been me,
Right.
I would have been sitting at home like I'm just
Moping.
go another day because this didn't work the way I wanted it to work.
Exactly.
But
But
it
let me
worked. Go
no,
ahead.
but let me tell you this, what you don't know. So as you know, that was the last day the truck was out. The truck never made it out. The whole engine blew on the truck. To this day, the truck has not been driven. But today, the
Today.
mechanic, and I'm going to post it to Facebook when we're off of this live, the mechanic was underneath my truck today, getting me the size of the nut. In some old country, I don't even know. I mean, with some old city, state, I don't even know where it's at. The man have an engine that fits my truck. He said, if you get me the size of the nut, you can buy this engine from me. Okay, today. But when I was standing in my kitchen and asked my husband, God had told me the truck is no longer for you. So I said, but God, if the truck is no longer for me, why are you telling me to fix it? It makes no sense. So I'm making the announcement today that the truck is getting fixed, but the truck is no longer just for me. It is going to be called the Small Business Platform by Celebrities Boutique. So if you own a business, any business, micro business, okay?
Right.
If you were listening from the beginning, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If
And
you
if you
own a
wasn't
micro
listening from the
business,
beginning, catch
look
the replay.
forward to you, huh?
I said if you wasn't listening from the beginning, catch the replay. You gotta watch this from the beginning. But go ahead. I digress.
Yes, right. So this business, you would be able to book the truck. You partner with somebody or whatever, y'all pay your fee and you go on this truck, you decorate it the way you want. I don't care if you sell clothes, paparazzi, you can be an artist, you can have a showcase with your paintings, whatever. This truck is now for us. The truck is just not for me. So that is why, Stacy, the truck broke down because it was no longer supposed to be for just me. It's supposed to be for all of us. So today, when he did, I say, all right, God, it's thousands of dollars. How are we going to do this now? How are we going to do this? Now we're gonna see how he's gonna do this.
Right.
But the man gave me the measurements today. I'm going to call that man tomorrow Saturday. I don't know if he opened, but Monday, and we're going to get this truck fixed by any means necessary. And we're going to be out there and we're all going to make money. Okay. But I'm going to ask you questions because I want you to know your business from front to back. So when you get out there, you know for a fact that you're going to be able to pay me my fee and you're going to be able to triple that, quadruple that, whatever, because you're going to market that day for those people to come out to support you wherever you at. Okay, so I'm giving you, Stacy had no knowledge this is going on. I didn't tell anybody, only my family knew because God had told me. But today is the day for me to make the announcement. So if you know somebody that owns a small business, have them contact me. I got a place for them. Period.
I feel so honored that you heard it here exclusively on Cultivating Conversation. On CCTV, y'all got the exclusive. Listen, we not playing out here in these entrepreneurial streets. It's our time. I feel like, and I think we've had this conversation about, as devastating and as traumatic as 2020 has been.
God.
God does all things well, right?
Amen.
There's always a plan and a purpose. And I know that I can say that 2020 was the best year I ever had in my business.
Girl.
9 years. This is my 10-year anniversary.
Jesus.
9 years. Last year was the worst year. I was furloughed, you know, and everything closed down. The boutiques that my products were in closed down, but it opened up for another boutique down in South Jersey. I was able to really get my e-commerce up because everybody was at home. So, you know, you had no other choice but click in order. So it was a great year for me. And I feel like for a lot of us, whether it was stuff breaking down or what, there's so many things. And I talked about this last season on my podcast about like, what are you doing with this time? What are you doing with this time? There's so much that can be done. And I feel like we cannot get here and plateau. We gotta keep going.
Yes.
We gotta keep going, especially those that look like us.
Yes, girl.
There's so many things that are opening for us, but we have to want it enough, and we have to really be smart about it and take advantage of those opportunities where people are willing to teach and give these nuggets like now, because it's not everywhere.
It's not.
Everybody wants to be, they want to keep everything to themselves and pop out grand for their own self-aggrandizement, I think it's called, for their.
I don't even know, but go ahead, doctor. Go ahead.
That sounded good. You know, for their own selfish, like, you know, I'm doing this and don't want to help. And I really believe that is why you are going to be a millionaire, because it's always the people that are willing to help people.
Yes.
That God can trust. God, he knows that he can. I truly believe he can trust people with money who don't hold everything so close to them. They hold it loosely to help others. Because if you're not helping other people without you getting anything in return.
Right.
You know, now, yes, there is a time and a place for intellectual property, and for people can be picking your brain and they're not putting money in your pockets and certain things and things like that. But when it comes to us helping each other, there is something that you can lend and help somebody do something. This whole truck thing, that's amazing, because
I'm so excited.
When did Celebrities Mobile Boutique start?
1 year after my assault as a bus operator. So I got assaulted November 16, 2011, and I had my grand opening November 16, 2012. So
what's
that? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
9, 10 years.
It'll be 9 years in November.
9 years. 9 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So look, yeah, there's history. This is not I just decided to paint a truck yesterday, and now I have this grand idea, because when we talk about flipping stuff, you know, people want to flip things, like they want to do because people do things one time and then all of a sudden now they are a pro. Now they are a master at it. Now they can teach other people, and you've only done it once.
Say it.
You're not a novice. You're not a novice with
this.
So, you know, and I feel like we spoke about this with, you know, the lending out of the truck. There's so much information that you can gather about. That's a microcosm of having your own business.
Yep. Exactly.
Water. It's just mobile. You got to get from point A to point B, but the setup, the welcoming, you know, the clients and customers and having a conversation, it's not as easy. It's not easy at all.
It's not easy. It's not.
People asking you questions, and you got to know what you're talking about and be knowledgeable and be, you know, be firm with your prices, because for whatever reason, you know, people look at us and feel like, you know, whatever, like there's so much that goes into it, and it's like a microcosm of having like your own brick and mortar. This is fantastic.
You love it, right?
I love
I'm
it,
so
and I'm here
excited.
for it. I'm going to order
Yes,
put it in my
I'm
fridge.
so excited. I'm excited for other people because
What?
I've been doing it for so long. So I know what they're going to get. If they do it the right way and they listen to me, I'll give them the little, nuggets of how to do it and how to market it. And I've made over $1,000 in one day. That's nothing.
Yeah.
You just got to do it the right way. And
I
I'm here
mean,
for it. I'm here to show.
listen, I am a witness because I mean, number one, you had the following anyway because it was funny. You have the following, and there were more because we're observing, we watch,
Right,
and I'm
right.
watching people come up to you and they're like, "Didn't you have the truck? Aren't you the one?" So you already have this following and it was consistent, and I think that's one of the other key things.
Yes.
Consistency. You
Have
can't
to be.
start and then kind of fall off, and that's one of the
Right.
reasons, next week is my 1 year anniversary for this podcast.
Already?
Next week I started March 20th. That was my first episode. March
That
20th.
was fast, Stacey.
Fast.
Congratulations.
March 20th. So
what are you doing?
next week I'm celebrating myself. Cause listen,
yes.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do a party on here. I'm gonna buy some balloons and whatever. Because when I was doing the lineup for Women's History, I was seeking the Lord, like who, Lord, and I always do that when I'm just planning the episodes because I just want to be on here, like whatever. Like I don't take for granted the fact that, the Lord allowed me to have a platform. I'm not just trying to be on here talking so that I can be like, oh, I got all these hits and all these numbers. I want it to be impactful. So I'm always praying and asking God, okay, what is it that I, whatever. So, I know I'm blessed to know a lot of great women that are doing a lot of great things, but I needed to know who. So I reached out. Well, we had the conversation, and I was like, by the way, and
right. You told me. Right.
So I gave y'all the dates.
Yes.
So you took the second date. Bernadette took the first date.
Yes.
I'll talk about my last guest on the 26th.
Okay.
So the 19th was open.
Wow.
Who am I supposed to get for the 19th? Silence. Lord wasn't saying nothing. I'm like, who am I supposed to get to the 19th? And then I thought to myself, like, well, it would be kind of weird for me to celebrate myself because but then I looked
me. I'm like,
but then I looked at the calendar and I was like, wait a minute. So I went on Facebook and I scrolled and I looked and I said, I cannot believe this.
That is crazy.
That is why nobody picked the 19th.
The 19th.
That is dedicated to the
Stacey, I'm so proud of you.
So yeah,
I can't wait to tune in.
I'm gonna be real extra because I don't celebrate, my like I don't do that. But I'm gonna do it because
do it, girl.
This was really, I always tell this story. I wanted to do a podcast, but I wanted to do the original way with the Spotify and all of that. I did not want to be in front of a camera. I did not want to be in front of the camera. But
look at you,
was like, do it now. And I'm like, right. I don't know. He said, do it now. You will figure it out as you go along.
And you sure did.
A year later,
look at you. I love it. And the growth.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Facebook show you that first video to next week. Because it'll give you that first video.
They do that for pages though?
Yeah, don't they?
I don't know if they do it for pages. Because this is like a page. This is not my personal page.
Right. Oh, they don't do that?
Unless I don't know.
We'll see next week.
I got it on my calendar, like 1 year anniversary. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
eat crab legs.
You know what? No, I'm getting my hair done. I think I'm gonna take the day off on Friday because I feel like it because my 9 to 5. I think I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna buy some balloons.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have if she don't bail out on me, I'm gonna have Kyra I want to celebrate Kyra.
Oh, that's sweet.
Kyra because
who's Kyra?
Kyra. You said who's Kyra?
For the people that don't know, you should say
my
it like
daughter. I'm like, how you going?
Right. I'm like, who's Kyra?
I'm going to have my baby girl as my special guest for a little bit because I know she ain't going to be on the camera because she be acting shy, but she'll be on Snapchat carrying on.
Right.
But I want to celebrate her because she started her own business. She's doing hair. She
now. Sure is. She sure is.
Doing hair. She's braiding.
Wow.
And she make her little appointments and she get her little money. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Hallelujah to Jesus. But I'm so proud of her because she's literally a chip off the old block. Like
good.
All of my creativity, that's where it is, right there with her. So I want to celebrate her for just a snippet. But yeah, it's gonna be the 1 year anniversary. So
everybody tune in. I will definitely be there.
I go to crab legs while I'm celebrating because they be like, we ain't turning in because this chick here, she got butter flinging all over the place.
If you see my video, you're gonna see I was like, I had all over it. I said, why somebody didn't tell me?
Did you
the whole thing.
Did you have a
No, girl, I went all the way in. This is nasty and you'll see.
Okay. One last thing. No, because we over, but I'm fine. I don't go over. When the content is good, it's not a problem.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about your podcast. That's the only thing that we haven't talked about. We talked about everything else out of order. I had all my little notes, but I mean, it just I love it. I love it. So let's talk about this podcast that you started.
Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't really call it a podcast. I just call it YouTube, right? Don't you just say YouTube? I don't know, girl. It was God placed it on my heart.
Your YouTube channel.
Yes, thank you. So on my YouTube channel, that is where I educate people about business. It's all about business. It could be me doing a vlog. It could be me doing, like I said, I did a mukbang. It could just me be sitting here and educating you about business. That's all it is. Because it's only about business, it's not going to grow as fast as I wanted to. And I realized that because I'm not talking about anything ratchet. I'm not talking about anything crazy. And I see and I talk to other people and I'm like, how did it grow so fast? It's because they are straying away from their businesses. Some of them are like hairstylists and they're talking about stuff on for television and their numbers are growing. And I'm like, God, I don't want to do that. Yeah. My goal is to educate, to inspire, to encourage, to enlighten. Those are the things, anything in business. And so I'm going to stick to that. So what? I've been doing it a month and I got 101 followers where other people have 1,000 by now. I don't even care. As long as 11. You said what?
Or 11.
You stupid! Because when you're talking about things of substance, they don't want that.
It's thick, yeah.
They don't want it. And so I realized that, but I don't care. I'm telling y'all right now, I don't care. I'm still going to stick to business. And I guess I'll try to make it exciting. Like next week, I'm going to film. I'm going to North Carolina. I'm being interviewed on iHeartRadio in Charlotte from 2 different people. So I'll take you on that journey with me. But the whole YouTube is about me becoming a self-made millionaire and taking you on that journey. And so people would think I'm crazy because they're like, how do you know? Like, why would you do this? It's because I believe it. I see it. I already feel it. And so that's it.
That's it.
I'm going to be one. So just come along for the journey. And so that page is, you have to go to Nneka, the serial entrepreneur, Nneka is my name, the serial entrepreneur. And I'll be uploading videos at least once every 2 weeks.
I mean, if this tonight's episode is any indication, you know, I hate the fact that you have to nearly sell yourself short by I mean, everyone is not doing it. Like I think about like Kevin on stage, right?
Right. Not everybody.
You know what I mean? But he's such a good example of, you know, the fact that you don't have to.
You don't have to.
We also don't know, and I'm sure he's talked about it, the length of time that it took him to get to where he is.
Exactly.
He probably would have gotten there faster if he was doing this stuff, but slow and steady always wins the race, because what
Correct.
happens, there's something, those stories and those things are always changing. It's always something, and I hate the fact that in this day and time, if it's not a ratchet reality, downing somebody and doing all of that stuff, that it's not going to be as impactful. But I feel like the more this tonight, because I saw your videos. I did subscribe to your channel, and I did see, like, I saw magic sort of.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that one. Yeah.
Power of, yes, I saw that.
Yes.
And I think there was one after that, but it's conversations like this is like, who wouldn't want?
Right.
I mean, to each his own, but I'm gonna watch this a couple of times, because no, I ain't even gotta watch this. I'm just gonna call you. I might just show you because I mean, and this is why I rock with you, because it's that whole, and I believe in scripture, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
It's like the conversations that we have. I always walk away from our conversations like, I gotta do something.
Right.
Like, I just got finished doing 10 things, and I need to do something else, because I just need to do something. And it's not even from a standpoint of I'm trying to keep up with her.
Right. No. Right.
It's just a matter of the influence and the inspiration, and I'm glad that you walked us through, because people have this stupid, ignorant habit. Yes, stupid and ignorant habit.
A stupid, ignorant habit
of looking at the outside of somebody and judging without knowing the entire story.
That is true.
Or looking and assuming that they are something in their mind that they think that they are, that they're not.
Right.
Yes. Of course, you're fly, you're beautiful. Anything that you do it 159 million%.
Yes.
But you ain't out here talking about Birkin bags and all of that stuff, because it's not about what you wear. It's not about what you wear. It's about what wears you.
I like that. I like that.
I stay. Look, if it's $5 and it's cute, I promise you.
In a minute. Right.
Give me my receipt, and I'm gonna put that joint on, and it's gonna look like $500.
Period. That's it.
Like, people be looking, and I'm like, oh, you thought I paid?
No, girl. Sorry.
But people have this bad habit of looking and assuming without knowing the story. I didn't know about the whole spitting on. I didn't know you left and joined a whole institution.
Yeah.
And left your children.
Yeah.
As a single mother?
Yes.
Was you on a submarine? Like,
I was on aircraft carrier with the planes come in. The aircraft carrier.
Yeah. So you just never know what's behind somebody's drive.
Exactly.
So when they say respect their hustle, like, you don't know what it took. We got a snippet, and the half hasn't even been told.
Right. Exactly.
What everything that makes Nneka, who is making history, my child. Wait, this is so ghetto. Still, everything that makes this is what my children do. Everything that makes Nneka, like, we don't know. We got a glimpse into it tonight, and this is why you are an absolute boss.
Thank you.
You are an absolute boss. Like, you are the epitome of, I am leaving this earth and I'm dying empty.
Period. And I have a do not resuscitate, and my husband hates it. And the reason why he hates it is because I told him, you don't have to make me come back. I'm living every day to its fullest. So there's no need. That's why I make sure that I show up on purpose. Every single day, I make sure that I tell him I love him. You have no idea. You told me to be online at 8:45 tonight. We were at a comedy show. It ended at 8:15. I'm like, we gotta go. But I know I had to give him his time. So I said, Madison, cut the lights on. Go on my put the laptop. You had no idea. But I
No.
know that I told you. And before we end, I just want to say this. I promised you that I will be here. So I showed up. So I will tell anybody, if you want to take away, you have your little week, I call it an aha moment or a takeaway or whatever you want to call it. Live your life by design and not by default. And what I mean by that is if you set a schedule, then don't allow anything. I mean, yes, things happen, but if you can help it, don't allow anything to come between that schedule. Because if you just live your life by default, you waking up and you just, whatever happens, happens. And that's why you don't get as many things accomplished. But because I lived my life by design, I knew that tonight I had to be here at 9:00. I knew my husband wanted to go see, I forgot the man's name at the comedy show. He wanted to see that. So I said, okay, what time is it over? He said by 8:15. I said, how long is it going to take us to get home? I got to be on Stacey Live at 8:45. So I told the lady, give me the bill. Let us pay it before it's over. You understand? And I showed up and I was here before time. But live your life by design and not by default. And that's what I'm going to leave with y'all tonight.
That is so good. That is so good. I talked last week about I mean, it was in a different vein because it was talking to divorcees, people who have been through divorce. I hate that word, divorcees. People who have been through divorce and heartbreak. And one of the things that we talked about was planning your day, commanding your morning and planning your day.
Love it.
And that falls into live your life
living by design and not by default.
You gotta plan, you gotta
plan it,
and you gotta execute it.
Yes.
You don't feel like it.
Just do it. Just do it.
I love it. I love it.
That's the best that I can tell you.
And you were living that. These comments are just this was so lit. I
love Gidget. I love whoever. Hey Gidget, thank you. You the bomb.
That's my sissy. That is my sissy. He has a show, Mental Movement. She's a marriage and family therapist.
Wow.
So she has a podcast on Mondays. I think she has two now. I think she has another one called Wifey Society. So you may want to link up with her.
Okay.
Reach out. I don't know. I feel like she's gonna be like, I need her. Right. But yeah, I think she has another one called Wifey Society. But that's what being a boss is about. And I mean, these are her social media handles. Find her the serial entrepreneur. I
didn't even put that.
I know, but it's okay. I'll advise the description and just text me all that information.
Okay.
But thank you.
You are welcome. No, thank you.
This was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
From beginning to end, but I expected nothing less because you are just a ball of you are just a fireball. You are a fireball.
Thank you.
Fireball, hilarious. You are absolutely gorgeous inside.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful spirit, and I've told you this,
yes.
I rocks with you. Like, you are genuine.
Thank you.
You are genuine, and I don't take that lightly. And because you are genuine, like, you've done things for me that people who have known me would not have done.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah.
You without even me asking.
I forgot until you said it. I was like, what's she talking about?
And without even knowing, you didn't even know me like that.
Right.
I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna close. Like, how
okay.
When we preach too long,
right?
I saw Nneka in church. We go to the same church, and it wasn't until a bus ride.
Oh wow, you took it back.
It wasn't until a bus ride to Ebenezer during one of Ebenezer AME. They have these conferences every year, and I left my car keys. I locked my car keys in my luggage like a doofus. So we wasn't going nowhere when that so high up in the sky with the Lord. I locked my keys in the luggage and I needed to go and get my keys. I was already at the church. I had to take the bus back to the church, go and get my luggage, get my keys, and I ended up on another bus. I was sitting next to Nneka was sitting behind me. She was sitting by herself. I was sitting in front of her, and I was sitting in the emergency row.
Yes, you
with
were.
this lady, and we got to the Gaylord. Because my memory, you will never be able to tell me something that did not happen and it's not accurate. You won't.
Right.
I have a memory like an elephant.
Oh God.
We got to the Gaylord, and there was somebody out of all of the buses. There was somebody getting on in a wheelchair.
Oh right, Stacy.
And it was one of those buses where it was the I can't remember what it's called, but you know
the wheelchair accessible buses. Yeah.
Well, it's not wheelchair. It's not in the front. It's in
the middle.
The middle. So I was sitting in the window seat. This is how God works. I could have been sitting
anywhere
in the aisle seat.
Yep.
Nobody was sitting next to you. Nobody sat next to you. And I was sitting in the window seat. And because they had to open up the door from the window seat that I was sitting in, I had to move. Yep. And I went and I sat next to you.
Yep.
And we had one of the most freeing conversations for me. One of the most freeing conversations during such a horrible time in my life. And I looked like, Lord, who is this woman?
You get on my nerves.
I was like, who is this woman?
You know I'm a crybaby. Stop. Okay.
She don't even know me. Like, what? And it freed me. And I believe that was the second thing that happened. That was the year that I was being licensed.
Mm-hmm.
That was the year I was being licensed. And that
I didn't know that though.
No, you didn't know that because nobody knew really until literally like the Friday before
right
Sunday, you know. Nobody knew. So you didn't even know that, but I needed that conversation. I needed what you did, and I needed to know that even though I didn't see it, that there were people that were going to bat for me in the spirit. Yeah. That there were people from afar that got a glimpse into what I was going through by myself. And they would be there. It really restored, seriously, it restored my faith in friendship. Because it restored my faith in friendship, you know, newer friendships. Because I have my tribe and I got all of that. But I'm like, I'm not. It restored my faith, like, wow. And from that point on, and after that,
that was
never spoken of again.
That's it. We never said anything.
We just kept moving. It was a divine encounter. It was divine timing. It was something that I needed. I celebrate you not only for that, especially for that.
Right.
Because
I know.
It speaks to integrity. It speaks volume. But I mean, you are such a boss, and now I understand what makes Nneka tick. When you see Nneka and you see her posting, and you see her posting all of the things that she's posting, you all have gotten a glimpse into what makes her a boss. What is the sum total from what she shared? Because again, she hasn't shared everything. She doesn't need to, and she won't. You know, but for what we've learned, the sum total of who she is. You are a boss. I celebrate you. I celebrate you, sis. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm like behind you. We gonna be eating crab legs.
Crab legs.
With Old Bay. Because
Right.
we like the Steve Jobs and all, we ain't going, we may splurge a little, but we're
Right.
going to go back to the crab legs and the Old Bay with the drawn butter and a lemon wedge.
Yes.
All right, I'm done. I'm hyped. I'm
This was good.
Yeah. So yeah, follow Nneka.
Yes.
Follow her on her platforms, please. I don't care where you live.
Right.
Get to T-Neck, to the Celebrities Boutique. I'm telling you, the shop is amazing. She has amazing pieces, accessories, clothing, so much. If you are getting married, if you are having a photo shoot, whatever you need, she can beat your face, paint your walls.
Right. All that.
Dress you, do your hair, clean up your stuff.
Right.
And help you become a millionaire by getting on her trunk after you fill out some forms and pay your fee.
Exactly. Period. That's it. That's all you need. That ain't a lot.
All right, girl.
This was good.
All right. So good. I'm gonna send you off so I can do my closing remarks.
Yes.
Go be with your husband.
Yes, right.
Thank you for allowing you to carve out time to kick it with your sis. And tell Madison I love her and all that good stuff.
And we love you.
We will we'll catch up.
Okay, we will.
We'll catch up. All right.
Have a good night. Take care, everyone.
All right. Oh my gosh, y'all. Let me tell you something. I'm so inspired by these boss ladies, these shot callers, trailblazers. You have to surround yourself with people who are doing things. They may not have it all. They may not be there yet. But if you can surround yourself with people who are on that journey to doing things, when I tell you iron, my glass of cookie, iron sharpens iron, for real. So if you don't get anything out of this, figure out, I'm not going to even end with my own words. I'm going to end with her words. Live your life by design and not by default. I hope and I pray that you all are inspired. There's so much work to be done in the world. There's so many businesses and enterprises and things. Money, like Nneka said, sitting and waiting for us for the taking. Do the research on the micro businesses and small businesses. Get your information together. Take them stimmies and don't be out here stimmying. Stimmy yourself to an LLC or S Corp or something. Figure out something. Get your name trademarked. Just start somewhere and then figure it out as you go. That's how everybody else. And just know that your no is not yet, or no is you're not doing it that way. You're going to figure out another way to do it. Just do it, because the world has what you need. Okay. Thanks again to my good sis Nneka, Celebrities Bell. Next week, listen, I'm celebrating myself. I'm celebrating next week. Next week is Cultivating Conversations 1 year anniversary. I started this podcast on March the 20th, 2020, at the height of a pandemic, when all of y'all was shut up in the house and ain't nobody had nowhere to go. Don't y'all get them stimmies and act like you don't know me and be out here on Friday and not celebrating with me, okay? I'm just kidding, but not really. Listen, meet me on Friday. I want to celebrate. I want you to be here with me for this party. I don't know what this party looked like. I've never done this before, so we're just going to do it together. I'm going to be celebrating 1 year. Maybe I'll have some special guests. Maybe people will pull up. I don't know. I'm not even planning nothing. I'm just going to come live and let it do what it do. But I am going to have my baby girl, Kyra. I'm going to celebrate her because I'm really, really into pouring into our future. And my daughter, my baby girl, she started her own business. She's a hairstylist. And I know she's going to do so much more than what I could have ever imagined, and even what I'm going to do while I'm still here on the earth. So next week, March 19th, 1 year anniversary with CCTV. And then the following week on March 26th, I got a shot caller. My good sis that I'm going to be interviewing. You do not want to miss this. Is going to be another impactful interview, just talking about some great things with this woman. She is fierce. She is doing the daggone thing, and I cannot wait to interview her and sit in this different space with her. So thank you all for tuning in, whether you are live or catching a replay. Get your notepad, write your notes, be inspired, go and be great, wash your hands, social distance, drink water, mind your business, love on people, because we just don't know when it's our time. So let's just be kind to one another. Let's support one another. And when you see a woman that's doing her thing, salute her. Salute her. She doesn't have to be doing what you're doing. She can be doing less than what she's doing than what you're doing. She could be doing more. Let's support one another. Let's support one another. All right. So I love you guys, and I will see you all next week. Peace out.